bed, and we are going to look today at charms and cards instead of teacups for a change. And I did a video the other day on, it was just a reel, on how to decipher symbol meanings, and this applies to your cards, but it also, I'm flicking charms, and it also applies to charms. So one of the simple ways is you look at the image itself, and like I said in my reel, it's like pretend you are interviewing this and it's sitting in a seat across the seat from you. So if I was looking at an hourglass and it's sitting in the chair and I want to interview that hourglass for a job, you literally ask it questions. And you ask it questions like, well, what are you? Basically, an hourglass is used as a timing element, and you can have fast ones, you can have slow ones. And so it's often around timing matters. Does it have emotions? No, because it's an object. It's not a living being as such. So you would draw out a hourglass in a reading and it would tell you all about timing. And often with an hourglass, you have your, I always explain it like the bottom part of the hourglass where the sand drops to you is earth plane, and then think of the sand that's dropping down from the top as the spirit plane. So it's often like strangling in the middle of the clash of the two worlds. So an hourglass can be where you are in earth plane, but you're also in a spiritual plane, and you're trying to combine the two together. And it often means get on with it, stop wasting time. So, hello. Oh, look, thank you. I actually do them myself. It's really hard to see this colour. It's like a red, but it's a shimmery red. So, but anyway, so if you are there, would you like a reading? And hopefully I'll get a few people across today. And I'm only on here for probably, 40 minutes to an hour, maybe. It depends whether many people show up. So if you are there and you would like a reading, please jump on and let me know. So, like I said, we've got cards. This card here is the Royalty deck, and it's a very pretty, soft, pink one. One of my most popular sellers, believe it or not, is, hello Deb, is what we call the Learner deck. Where's my Learner deck? Oops. And my Learner deck cards actually have words on them. And it's a really handy way of learning symbology. So, and this is the Learner deck. It helps when I'm not upside down, doesn't it? All the card decks have at least 2 men or 2 women in it. And the reason that I have them that way is so you've got choices with same-sex relationships. So if you've got 2 men in the relationship, if you've got 2 ladies in the relationship, you would have these looking at each other. And sometimes you might have one man who's got 2 ladies. He's being very greedy, isn't he? So, and the 2 ladies probably don't realise that they're both sharing one man. Believe it or not, when you are a reader, you see a lot of that. So, but there's also the polyamory, and I have a couple of families that I've read for years, and one is 1 man and 2 ladies, and there's children to both. And I've also got one where there is 1 lady and 2 men, and there's children to both. And it works for them beautifully. So, it's like you should never judge love. That's the way it is. So, Lisa, lovely to hear from you, and it's nice. Lazarus, so you're looking, will I move house? Will I, so when you ask for statements like that, they're actually yes and no questions. So we would look at this, obviously your desire is to move house. So we would look at it as what do you need to do to move house? So let's have a look. I'm going to draw 3. Question mark, heart, and bat. It's an interesting combination. Let's see if I can bring that down a little bit more there. So, Question mark here tells me you're feeling uncertain about whether to move house. And often question mark is a symbol of yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And it can be where you keep procrastinating. Your heart here tells me, yes, your emotions are feeling, yes, I want to move. And the bat here is blind but extremely clever being. But it often means you need to look at everything in all areas or all options, all perspectives. A bat would tell me, look at the emotions on why you want to move. Are you moving for love is another very blatant reason. But it means using all the skills and the knowledge you have here in order to get this move happening. But your first one out as the question mark would tell me you're feeling very uncertain about it. So when I'm going to layer over that about timing, and a lot of people ask me, how do you work out timing? Timing with cards is often about, is the symbol fast or is the symbol slow? Mermaid. Now that's interesting because mermaid there is an illusion. So again, it tells me you need more clarity in your thoughts about what I'm doing, where I'm going, and am I really ready for it? Again, I want a timing card. Oh, there's your house. House is security. Always think about house as 4 walls. House there again would tell me take your time. It is a slower card because it is a fixed stationary card. If you had other symbols like, say, sword, which is very fast moving, if you had lions, had cats, dogs, other type of moving symbols, that would tell me moving quickly. There would tell me the move is on, but very slow. But I would look at this and say, you've got to sort out some things first. So number one is the decision making. So sorry if I miss people. I am going to try and get through who and what I can. Deb Simons. We don't read health, Lisa, so I can read finances. So health readings I never do online. They are very personal and I only ever deal with that sort of thing when I'm person to person. So let me just have a sip of my tea. So we're looking at finances. Mask, books, and dog. Mask here tells me, though, you keep overlooking it. Sorry, that sounds a little blunt, doesn't it? But the mask is literally time to peel back the layers of the onions. It means literally looking at your finances for warts and all, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. The book here tells me, though, you literally need to write down or budget with your money. The dog here tells me, though, you're actually quite good when it comes to money because dog is about loyalty. It's calm, it's placid, it's peaceful. But dog, again, is looking at books, which tells me you know you have to literally write things down in order to balance it. But the mask here tells me don't put your head in the sand when it comes to finances. Cat here again would still, it's funny you got dog and the cat. Cat here is often about, yes, you're in a comfortable place and you think, no, I'm relaxed and I'm happy and I don't really want to look at it. But it does mean, again, being a little more proactive in what you are doing. And it's interesting because both dog and cat are often about social connections, which is things like friendships and there, which tells me you may be spending a little bit too much on that social side of it, and that can be out and about with lunches and coffee shops and so on. I'd look at these and say, peel the onion back. It's time to really have a good look at the finances and what exactly is happening and going on for you. So I'll just put these in random. What else have I got here? Moon card. Yeah, moon card's an interesting one. Lots of people look at the moon and they always think shadow. But always remember, moon is a light source. It's like sun. You've got to have light and you've got to have shadow. And so moon is still a light source. And in timing, that there would tell me, get your shit together. You're literally moving in the next month. So when I see that, it would tell me, yes, you do need to get things together. So Kaylee's want to look about the current relationship. What's happened? Okay, let's have a look. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use royalty because it's very pink and romantic and it's lovely. Let's It's really nice for love readings. So let's have a look. What's going on in this relationship? Ooh, tells me here you've had some interference in this relationship. Teapot here is about communication. So there you've got procrastination, or again timing. So it's almost like something that's been said, and it's probably been said and fell out of someone's mouth, whether it's yours or the other party, and you think, oh shit, I can't unsay that now, or I can't unhear that now. The cherries here means coming together as two. And when I see cherries, it tells me this love needs a lot of nurturing and a lot of rekindling. But the mermaid here tells me there's too much interference in your relationship. Now, everybody's automatically going to look at mermaid and think, oh, there's another person, they're having a hot, wild affair, or someone running off to the closet at work. No, 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 no. Mermaid is not an automatic third party as another partner in the relationship. Mermaid there tells me, though, there is external interference in your relationship. These can be one of you as a workaholic, doesn't want to make time for the other. It also can be literally family or friends, in-law type things, interfering parent or interfering family. Workshop widows, which is where you've got people heavily invested in their hobbies or cars or bikes or whatever. Even the sports widows, we call them, where they haven't got time for you. They'd rather be off with the mates and watching footy and so on. There just tells me, though, you do need rekindling in this relationship, and you do need a lot better communication than what's gone on here. Just draw another one. Cross here would tell me your soul's journey is probably suffering right now, because cross is a very hard card, and it often means what's the weight upon your shoulders that is there. Now, a lot of people will read a cross like they do Lenormand cards and think endings and, you know, bad, bad, bad. But cross in T symbology is what's your soul's journey and what is it that you have learnt from this, which tells me you have learnt some hard lessons here, but you also do need to look at who is interfering in this relationship. The big card here that I would have been very worried about coming out would have been Grave and also Sword or Tornado, because the Grave would have told me dead duck in the water. A Sword would have told me go your separate ways, you've offloaded the baggage. And a Tornado would tell me nothing but a tumultuous relationship, which would tell me forever conflict. So I don't see it ending, but you've definitely got to communicate there. And again, work out what is it that keeps interfering in this relationship. So I hope that helps a wee bit, Dom. So, and sorry, I'm not condescending when I call people honey or darling. I hope you don't mind. It's just an Aussie thing. I was born and raised in a little state here in Australia called Tasmania, and we call everyone darling or honey or beautiful or gorgeous. You know, it's just the way I am. So, hand paint lady, thank you. No, it's not Lenormand. Stop tonics. Lenormand cards. I'll give you a little history lesson just briefly. Lenormand cards were actually based on tasseomancy, which is the art of reading with tea or coffee symbols. And a lot of people don't know this because it's been so heavily promoted over the decades or the centuries that Madame Marie Lenormand was a Lenormand card. That's why they were named Lenormand. But she actually copied from a German cartomancer who was a tasseomancist. Lenormands were in effect from 18th century or the 1800s, whereas tasseomancy was 1700s. So tea leaf reading cards, pre-birth or precede Lenormand. So Lenormand, yes, you might see some symbols like there's a moon. Where is it? Mouse is a Lenormand symbol. they use bouquet. I have a rose, but like I said, there's a lot of these that have nothing to do with Lenormand. So an Lenormand is 36 cards. Original Tasseomancy was 32 symbols, and these are 50. So you're just doing rebrand of your business. Any guide would be lovely. Okay, Annie. So let me have a look. Annie, what's going on? Cherries is good. Frog is good. Tunnel is good. Cherries here would tell me again, new sweet opportunities. It's like revitalizing. It's like when I had cherries with love before, it literally means add new life. Frog is interesting, which tells me take the leap of faith, but also be cautious. Don't be too impulsive and jump into something without first knowing what it is you're jumping to. The tunnel here would tell me you do need to focus on the long-term picture, because tunnel is step out of the shadows into the light. It's actually quite good for you for business. So what else we got? Castle is a business card. Some people call it tower. It literally means baby steps in order to rise to the top. So I'd say rebranding is very good. Don't do anything impulsive, but there is a lot to gain from this. So take your time, do it properly, do it right, and get it all focused on the right path that you want to be. But also focus on where you are now, but where you want to take it to as well. Because there would still tell me ultimate success by rebranding and redoing everything differently. So I hope that helps. Let me just, sorry, I'm just putting these up at random. Oh, you got one of my teacups, Stock Tonics. That's lovely. Thanks for the feedback, Kaylee. It's always wondering. I wonder if I should reach back out at some point as we're in no contact now. Interference has happened. It doesn't it shit you? Sorry, I can't help it. I have to say it. Sorry, again, it's Aussie. It really shits you when people won't keep their bloody noses out of other people's business. And that's no good. I was married very, very young, first time round, and I had the worst possible interfering old mother-in-law, and honestly I wanted to stab the cow every day of the week for all the duration that I was with my ex-husband, my first husband. We were only together 5 years. I should have known better, but then there's a lot of us we should have known better. So I'll just have a look at that, Kaylee, about should you make contact. Right. So should we make contact? Should we make contact? Sorry, I'm looking down here so you can see my bald head. So should we make contact? Right. Lion. Fish. Question mark. Lion here is often a masculine symbol. And when I see it there, it usually would tell me ego-driven male, because it means look at me, I'm so gorgeous. Fish here tells me again, crowds around the male. And the question mark there would tell me, hold off for the moment. Because the question mark there would just tell me, allow some more of the no contact, because I don't want you blowing up their messenger. I'm not sure if it's male or female, sorry about that. But there would tell me, proceed with caution. Don't do it yet while you are feeling this way. I would say because they got so much crowding around them, and they probably can't speak for themselves. And I know that sounds awful. It's almost like they've got to have the travelling circus all the time around them. But the question mark here would tell me, hold off on the contact at the moment. So I'm actually just going to use my dice, because my dice is very good. This here is a 12-sided dice. It's my gold one. And these are brilliant when we are looking at specific timings. Now, I'm using this in a matter of weeks, not months. Like if you were doing a great big reading, I would look at these as in months, but I'm looking at this as in days and weeks. So what do we got? We've got 9. So it tells me wait minimum, I know that's going to be really hard, 9 days, and give yourself enough time up to 9 weeks. And if you are not feeling warm and fuzzy by that 9th week, cut it, move on, because it isn't worth it for you. So, because I look at that and say it's almost like they've got to continually have the travelling circus around them, and they can't stand on their own or own up their own shit. Sorry, it is there. Yeah, it is. Sorry, I'm a big history buff, and I love looking at anything and finding out the nuts and bolts of it all. So, there's not many people with us here today. So, is there anything else someone would love to hear? So, I'll continue to waffle, and I want to show you also. So, for those of you who have my cards and charms, I'll show you how you layer. So, if we are looking again, I'll just use you, Kaylee, as an example. Sorry, I'm pulling you out of the crowd. So, we're looking about this with layering. So, butterfly here, moon here is the emotions, and frog again. So, it still tells me something impulsive happened in this relationship. The butterfly there is literally transformation. And I look at these here, you've got transformation and emotions, and then you've got frog. And I'm reading for you, not the other party, which tells me this has been a major growth for you given what has happened. And so when I want to layer more, you can either layer on each, or you can choose one to layer on. I'm going to choose the frog, because the frog there is about, again, you reaching out, but it often means proceed with caution. So I've just got in my charms, it's a swan here, isn't it beautiful? It's an old retro swan from the 60s, I think. I've got them in every colour. My mum used to have these when I was a girl. My mum smoked, and she actually used all these beautiful swans as ashtrays. So just what she did. But I'm actually just going to layer on the frog, and I'm just bringing down way too many charms, but let's have a look at them. I'll bring these up to show you. Right, okay. We have question mark, book, fish, broom, treasure chest, and dolphin. Now, dolphin means helpful people around you. It's actually a nice symbol, because it means there you've got very good, reliable friends who may be also very good advisors, and particularly when you're feeling a bit low. Your broom here is a very interesting one, because it tells me time to declutter some of the feelings, the emotions. Because you've got fish here, would also tell me there may be some people which you are connected to in this network of situation. And when I say a broom and a fish together, it's almost like, are some of these people that you no longer need in your life, as in contact. So I look at that and say, start to distance yourself from some of the problems. The question mark here tells me this has hit your confidence left field. Book here is, again, what you can gain from it. Your treasure chest here would tell me, always remember, you are the gold. You are the gold. You are the diamond. You are the precious one. Treasure chest here tells me you need to look very deep within, that you are the precious one. And when I see it again on frog, would tell me, don't be too impulsive in jumping back into this relationship. Look at it, think, did it serve you well? Did the other party help you grow? Or were they just an attachment and not part of your life, as in two of you form one? So I would just be cautious about making contact and jumping in too quickly. Oh, hello, Sandra. Lovely to see you, darling. Elle, will you find a job soon? That's a yes or no question, so we'll just actually have a look at what's the job prospects out there for you. Oh, you've had eye surgery. My friend had eye surgery not long ago too. So I'd freak out, because they do it when you're awake, from what my friend told me. And I thought, my God, they'd have to freeze me, because seeing something coming at my eye, it'd be like someone trying to poke you in the eye with a stick. So Elle, let's have a look at what's going on for you with career. Chair, tent, butterfly. Chair here literally means you sitting in a situation. When I say chair, it's almost like opposite somebody. interview stage, which is actually good. But it's also interesting you've got tent, because tent there would tell me don't be afraid or don't dismiss contract work, because tent means this will do for a short period of time. And the butterfly here again would tell me again short period of time. And it's not a bad symbol, because it tells me even doing contract work you will actually find some benefit and growth, not just financially, but there would tell me you will find some good growth even from taking on a short-term role. But the chair would tell me some type of interview or sit-down talks and communications. So it is important. I just want to layer again. Cat here is, again, nice connections when they are female. It is a trust card as well, which can be go with your gut. Do you trust the person that is interviewing you? Do you trust the company? Have they been around a long period of time? Do your background homework and research the arse out of any job that you are applying for. And I want you to reflect that in the resume or in the application when you are applying, because there would tell me networking, and that is female energy networking, is vital, but trust is also absolutely paramount. So I heard a thing the other day, and it was actually interesting. I haven't tried it yet because I love to try things. Someone actually used ChatGPT, and they'd actually put in here, I'm applying for, I don't know, senior accountant job in XYZ company. I need my resume to reflect it, but I want you to give me the challenging interview questions so you and I can sit through this scenario. And you are literally having a conversation back and forth with ChatGPT of all them dumbass questions that they ask you in an interview. And it's like when they ask you, what's your weakness? I'd be there and say, Tim Tams, chocolate biscuits. If it makes them laugh, that's good rapport. So it's certainly something to have a look at. So Sandra, will my finances improve? So what do we need to look at with finances? Right. Tree is very good. Frog, he's very popular today. Ring again would tell me focus on what's important and what's valuable. Tree is again stability and growth. Frog here, be cautious with anything impulsive. Frog to tree can mean there may be an unexpected bill that you're probably thinking, oh shit, I wasn't expecting that. Ring here would tell me again, focus on what is important, what is valuable to you and what is not. And that can go right down to, are you paying app subscriptions to Google or Apple or whatever? So, because I'd look at that and say, make a little bit of a coal and work out, do I need Netflix and Stan and Foxtel and, you know, all the things that really aren't that important. So, because I'd look at it and say, focus on what's important and what's not is very important. I don't see losses here, and that's the very big thing here. If you'd have had sword or grave tornado again, I would have thought, oh shit, you're going down the gurgler. But when I look at that, I would say it's stable, but you do need to focus on what's important and what's not. So I hope that helps a wee bit, darling. And I hope your eye surgery recover soon, because that sounds nasty. So I'm blind as a bat, and I often look and think I would love to have that LASIK eye surgery. But then I saw something the other day about all the bastard horror stories, and it was really sad. There was a couple of people who just couldn't handle the bungle of the eye surgery, and one of them actually went into such a deep depression they just couldn't crawl out of it. It was really sad. But look, there's so many wins with the LASIK eye surgery, but like I said, I'm terrified of it, so I'll have to just stay in my cat eye glasses because I'm blind as a bat. So, Beth, will my son's meeting this month go in for his favour? All right, so your son's doing a meeting. For some reason, I keep feeling this is around children. So, will your son's meeting be favourable? Cane is support. Crosshair tells me hard. Mushroom also tells me he really needs to pull out all his strengths. Cain is support system, which tells me he needs a lot of support, a lot of encouragement, and I would say a lot of parenting. Regardless of how old he is, I've got a son too, and he's 42 years old now. I'm getting old. And there would tell me, though, he needs the guidance, the support, and the encouragement of you as parents. The cross here would tell me this is a very difficult meeting, what he's got to deal with. The mushroom here, too, tells me things that come to light that he probably wasn't aware of. And the chair here is, again, he needs to learn to calm, relax, sit, assess, and contemplate things before he opens his mouth. Because I look at that there and say, give him the support and encouragement, but more so in don't answer or react straight away, because the chair is often contemplated before speaking. So I would say it'll go okay, but I'd say something's going to come to light that he's probably not happy with. And it's very important, though, that he doesn't do that, oh shit, you done this or you done that, or you should have this or you should have that. It's like the reaction. And there would tell me he needs to be proactive, not reactive, very much so. Oh, Lisa, you had eye surgery. Geez, 20 years ago too. So, yeah. Oh, thank goodness you don't have any pain. That's really good to hear. So, yeah, but getting back to sons here, I still think something's coming to light, but I can't, you have to let me know, Beth. I keep feeling this is something to do around children. So I hope not, because I know how hard that is. Yeah. Who have we got here? Will restart the jewellery business bring you financial success? Do you make it yourself? I love watching the reels and things on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook reels or YouTube shorts and stuff, where you see all the making of it. And I just sit there in awe at the craftsmanship and the patience too, because I would not have the patience at all. So let's look. Sorry, I'm a card flipper, so I know it's upside down, but I like to flip. Terry's good. Ship is very, very good. Mushroom here tells me you need to think of something different and new. Mask again tells me look at the long-term picture. Cherries is nice because it tells me add new life. So I'd say don't just open the doors. When you open the doors, or whether it's online, I still literally say open the doors. When I look at that, I would say don't just open it as it was, add something different, make it different, whether it's different colours, different photography, different branding. There would tell me add new life to it. Ship is very good because it literally means business, trade and commerce progresses forward. You've got mushroom, again, which tells me about thinking outside the box. Things that you thought were negative, it's now time to change those to a positive. The mask here again tells me you need to peel back the layers, fix things that you didn't look at before. Because mask there would tell me you probably missed the boat in some way, literally missed the boat. Which is, did you not market it well? Did you not photograph it well? Did you not put enough of your energy into it well? I'd say look at it differently. Don't just open it as it was. Change it, shift it up a gear, because I still think you'll flourish well by changing a few things around. So add new life to it. Oh, you do make them yourself. Lovely. Like I said, I'm amazed when I see it. It's just, and like people laugh at me, and I love even watching people do glass blowing. You know, and they have long pipe and hot glass over the fires, and they make beautiful pieces and vases and whatever, figurines. I could sit and watch that stuff for hours. It's just a peace thing, I suppose. It's one of those bucket lists. I wouldn't mind doing it. Yeah. But it's really good to hear you had laser eye surgery. And tell me, Lisa, do you wear glasses still? Because I know one of my clients, I've got a couple. One had the surgery to fix her so she could see long distance, she could drive without glasses, but she still had to have readers. they could fix it one way. But then another lady I know, she actually had the cornea transplant, and they did one for short, one for long. And it took about 2 weeks. They said, don't drive or anything, you may feel a bit nauseous for 2 weeks. And your brain trains for the both of them to finally see both up close and distance. And I was blown away by how they did it. I just thought it was incredible. Yeah, so if he'd actually come back and try and communicate and come back when he's done partying, flirting, whatever he's doing, think twice, darling. Like I said, I would look at that and say, you are probably a whole lot more worthy than him. And I really would like you to stop. And even if you put, people must think I'm nuts when I tell clients this, I'd say, go to pad of sticky notes. I want you to put them on the fridge, put them on the vanity mirror, put it on the top of the toilet, and put there, I am worthy. Nothing else, I am worthy. And even if you put, I am worthy of true love, I am worthy of commitment, I really want you to know you are more worthy than what he has done to the relationship. So remember, you are the diamond, you are the gold, you are not the brass. Oh, hello, Peggy. Lovely to see you, darling. So, who else have I got here? Oh, you have to wear readers now. You're 48. I'm 61 soon, or a few more months. But yeah, so I've been in glasses. I've lost count, probably 30 plus years. Yeah, so because like I said, I'm blind as a bat, and I sometimes think though when you wear glasses, does it make it more dependent on them? Because I can't even read a phone without glasses. So my short, well, I don't know, they call that long vision or whatever, me trying to read something without glasses, I couldn't see a phone screen or a computer or anything like that. But yet I've found as I've got older, I can drive without glasses, I can see long distance without glasses. So these are multifocals, and basically at the top it's just about clear. But it's my readers are terrible. Yeah. So if you'd like a reading, Peggy, let me know. So, because I'll wrap it up soon. Lucky me, I've actually got to go to the dentist this afternoon. So your surgery was to repair the retina. There was a tear. I couldn't see out of the right eye. Oh my God. I was using one eye for months. Oh, you would have got headaches and horrible stuff happening. Dear friend of mine, Jo, I've known for 20 odd years, she, for some reason, her cornea detached and her eye looked like it was blood all through the eye. They don't know what happened. She had no accident, no nothing, but yeah, she had to have that all stitched back into place. So our eyes are everything. I think I would rather be deaf than blind. You know, it's neither is a choice, I suppose, but I couldn't do without my eyes. What topic would you like to look at, Peggy? I think there's about a 10-20 second delay from me to talk to you guys and you to get it back to me. So cards I'm using here is just the, this one I called it Royalty. And there's actually a bit of a story behind this. What it was, and I'll tell you the funny story. Years and years ago, I had a publisher in Australia here who wanted me to create a deck of cards. And when you work with a publisher, they usually take all the costs and so forth, and they give you royalties. And royalties on card decks, on Oracle cards, is absolute shit. So if you're going to buy stuff, I'd say always try and go directly to the designer if they're selling them on their own site and not through a publishing company. And I know that sounds really bad to publishing companies, because all the different deck creators and that I know, they only get between 5% to 8% of the actual wholesale price of card decks. And that's terrible. It's just daylight robbery. It only makes money for the publishers. And so I had this publisher approach me and they said, oh, can you do a deck of cards, Karen? wind shades of pink and something like that. And so I did my cards. This was the deck I did. They didn't want me to have a grave in it. They didn't want me to have a sword in it. They didn't want me to have a cross in it or a question mark. They basically wanted light, fluffy and fairy and everything that is sunshine and rainbows. And in the end, I thought, but these are reading cards. They're not just one card you pull out for your positive manifestation for the day. And again, you have to have light and shadow because you're reading in combinations. And so in the end, I basically turned around and told them to piss off. And that was back in 2016, so it's, 9 years ago. So I named it Royalty, as in royalties. So that's the reason and the name behind this deck. And it was a publisher here in Australia that I basically said, bugger off, you can keep your royalties and shove them where the sun don't shine. So that's the story behind this deck. Now let me look. Retirement. Oh, lovely. What a nice thing to be happening. Another dear friend of mine who's contemplating her retirement this year, and it's been such a big decision because you're going from having a weekly wage or monthly or whatever they pay you to suddenly, oh shit, what do I do without that weekly wage? And that's a big hit. So, retirement. Oh, nice. Mice, everyone sees mice and thinks vermin and yucky things. Mice is actually very family orientated and very, very social. There would tell me again, you will start to socialise again out small. And to see teapot there, teapot same as teacup in symbology, it literally means sharing communication. It's like going out for lunch with friends. It's a beautiful thing here, which tells me again, take things small and slowly. The ship's interesting because ship is often business, trade and commerce. Now that can be two things for you. It can be literally where you are leaving, may not want you to leave, and they may be still trying to reel you back in, even if it's on very small hours. But you've got the tunnel here, which tells me now it's time to think about you and what you want for your long haul. Because tunnel is, again, step out of the shadows and be seen. It's like allow the light upon you, no longer in the darkness. I don't say these as a bad thing, but I would say you need to probably network, do some things that are small that is starting to feel joy. But back in communication, like I said, talks and ship would tell me they're probably still going to try and reel you in, even if it's for short hours. So, but I would say yes. Oh, you've got pet rats. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. So, hello Fiona, lovely to see you. If you would like a reading, tell me a question and I'll put you down as my lucky last. So, because I've got to go to dentist today, which I'm not looking forward to. They make a killing out of us. Anything like that, dental, eyes, anything medical, costs are absolutely insane. Hello, Debbie. 3 questions in one. You're sorry, darling. Pick one. Because these are only short readings. That's a whole $4,000 to blow for that. So, I'm waiting for Fiona if you've got a question, and Debbie Johnson. So, let me know. These, like I said, are royalty. That's what I called them. Like I said, I just said the story. If you've come in late, it was a publisher who wanted me to create a pink deck, but they didn't like that I had crosses or swords or graves, and so I basically told the publisher to piss off, and I called it royalty as in royalties. So, how will you go with your studies, Fiona? All right, let's have a look. Cat. Oh, they're brilliant. Cat there means literally other females around you, and it does, the sitting cat's nice rather than the standing cat. Sitting cat there often means very good network of female people around you, and they can be other students or even friendships. Your bat here tells me your skill set is absolutely impeccable. People don't realise bat is the most smartest creature on our earth plane, even though they're blind, because it means opening up all their senses in order to achieve. Angel here tells me blessings of universe upon you. You'll do really well with your studies. If you've got a study buddy or somebody that is female, I would say work with them, whether it's a tutor or someone maybe in a higher level or somebody who's already finished whatever studies you're doing, because they would still tell me you will gain very well from them. So I like it, particularly Angel. Angel's the best card in the deck. It means greatest positivity. Debbie, will you be moving? So anything general. Oh, I know it sounds blunt. General reading to your general answer. So all I can do is have a look what falls out and see what applies to you. Baby is new projects. That is to do with work, and bird is communication. Baby, I know it's a doll. A lot of people reckon it's a creepy doll, but I love it. Reminds me when I was a little girl. When we are looking at general, when you've got questions there about moving, income, travel, baby tells me new exciting prospects. Tower or castle is usually to do with job, or career. And the bird here is flying away from castle, which tells me new adventures is going on in what you do in your career. And the bird flying away would tell me external talks in what you do for your career or your business, because there would tell me you are moving on or moving upwards from the job. Because I'd look at there, and even behind it, if I want to look at it as in a negative, baby and work would tell me there's some immature twats there that you really don't need. And your bird away would tell me start reaching out or looking at further afield in better business prospects. So just want another layer. Mushroom again would still tell me not enough growth where you or what you are doing. So again, look at branching out into something different, add new life to what you do to bring in the money. So I hope that helps, darling. Well, I'm going to wrap it up because I have to go to the dentist, lucky me, and I will hopefully get on next week. I'm sorry I'm a little bit behind. I've been madly trying to get other things done in the background, and hopefully I'll be able to reveal some good stuff soon. So, but thanks everyone. It's been absolutely lovely to join you here today, and